Hey team, okay, let's just look at a really important element of the platform, which is our Holistica tools area. Now, this is a hugely important addition to the Academy itself, because we want to make sure that not only are you learning stuff, but you're actually applying what you're learning in a live situation as well. And as it turns out, not only have we created a tool that allows you to practice, but it seems that you guys find this incredibly useful from the feedback that we've already got, because this is going to help you in your day-to-day workflow. So this is going to be a hands-on tool for you to use in your day-to-day workflow. Now, this is currently what the tool looks like, but don't be surprised if you see more features added onto this. So of course, I'm just going through the demo of this as a how-to guide, but you will find that when you click on this, you might find that there's a whole load more features as we go into the future. We are constantly evolving and developing this as we go forward, so there'll be more. But for now, this is what it looks like. Now, how do you get to this? Well, one of the key things is that when you're in any of the master classes, let's come over to something like cybersecurity. So you'll find that at the end of most of your master classes, there will be this element here, which asks you to upload your candidate CV. So in this situation, you would put in a cybersecurity CV and have it explained to you by our AI system. And indeed, you can actually put up one of your live jobs as well. But this gets you to the actual tool area. However, the other best way of doing this, just straight in the platform whenever you need this on an ongoing basis, is go over to the knowledge base area here and then click on the toolkit area, and this should eventually take you to this area here. So what do we have here? The first element is this knowledge base, which is simply a quick understanding of key roles. So you can go into anything here and basically ask a question of the AI system. Now, do remember that what you're working with here is a LLM system that we have created ourselves. So we've trained this system, it's sitting on our own private cloud. So that's a hugely important element for you to understand. It's trained to think about all of this from a recruitment perspective. The second element here is the CV analyst, which of course gets down to really helping you out on your day-to-day duties. So if I bring in a CV in here, and we put the CV in, let me drag a CV across into here. So there's a Kotlin CV. All you do is you press analyze, and then this does a few really powerful things which should help you. So let's say you're going to speak to this candidate, you're going to interview these people. Well, the first thing that it's going to do is give you an executive summary of that CV, but really hugely important for you is that you're going to have a whole bunch of really good interview questions, not some low-level lame interview questions that you might be asking on a regular basis. But what this has done is actually analyze the CV and then created technical questions based on the back of that. But the really hugely relevant part here is that we've also thrown in a lead generation element into the training, so that it knows, of course, that you are a recruiter, and what you're trying to do is not only understand who this candidate is, but also to remind you that you need to bring in lead generation questioning as well, because of course that's a fundamental part of our job. So it will quite subtly bring in questions like, were there any individuals on your team or other departments who might be useful here? And you can see it's not blatant, but it's actually very subtly, it's asking who are the key stakeholders you worked with to find a solution. So if you're a seasoned recruiter, you're going to be bringing these into play anyway, but this is prompting all recruiters to kind of not only ask technical questions, but just splice in some nice subtle questions, and you can see it's doing it in a very nice way. Are there any former colleagues, industry contracts, or individuals, people who share your passion for innovative solutions? So it's just to get them talking about certain names, and that's where this is a hugely powerful thing to have in front of you when you're speaking to the actual candidates themselves about their particular CV. Now, here is again, fundamental part of your role as a resourcer is that if you're passing this CV on to an account manager or a recruitment consultant, then of course what you're trying to do is sell the key points of this particular candidate, and this is highlighting the key strengths of that candidate. Of course, we're also looking at the key trajectories of this particular candidate. So where should they go? Where do we believe that their trajectory will take them as we move into the future? Okay, so beyond that, what we're looking at is the key terms. So you can see, just as in the Holistica way, we have clarified the key terms for you as well. So we'll go through the CV, bring out all the key terminology that you should be aware of, and just really understand them in clear, common sense terms. Not only that, you can be useful to the candidate as well in terms of improving suggestions to the CV as well. So it will show you how to enhance the CV from that perspective. So that's the CV analyzer. Now let's come over to the job spec analyzer, and what we have here is something just again just as useful, and that is really just to allow you to fully understand a very complex job description from a client. You just click analyze job spec, and this will do something really useful for you. A few things here in this tool which are fundamental features for your day-to-day workflow. So you put your job spec in there, it's going to be analyzing this. Of course, it's going to summarize all of this in clear terms to you. Of course, it's going to give you brilliant interview questions as well. But what this element does is it gives you LinkedIn search strings so that you can. Now, of course, I'm assuming that you are going to be trained up in all sorts of areas of LinkedIn search. So you should be very good at creating your own search strings, but this should serve as a very good starting point for you. So you can copy that to clipboard, and it will go straight into LinkedIn's Sales Navigator, and it should start your search process from there. So this should be a good starting point for you. Does it automatically. More importantly, you've got a Boolean search facility here, which again is in a format where you can copy this, but in fact if you click this here, it will take you straight into Google, and you can see it's probably going to come up with some CVs already with any luck. There you go there. So it will allow you to search those three areas of GitHub, GitLab and Stack Overflow for candidates, and it will create your search string immediately. This should be an invaluable tool for you. So that's that. It will again clarify all the terminology that you've got in the CV in simple terms, and of course do all the other things for you. And now let's move on to what people have found to be an incredibly useful tool, which is the job matcher. So I'm going to take a job, and I'm going to actually take 3 CVs. It will go up to 3 CVs currently. But basically what you need to do is press CV1, it's already got one, CV2, and then CV3. And what we're going to do is we're going to upload, let's get this job that I've just done live, copy that. And let's just go back to our analyzer. Where are we? Job matcher, sorry, I beg your pardon. And I'm going to paste that into there. I need to add a CV. There you go. So I'm going to choose a couple of CVs. Let's go for that one there. Open that. That one there. Open that. And that one there, open that. Now I've pasted the job spec in here, and I'm going to run the match. A powerful process now takes place because it's analyzing the job, it's analyzing the CVs, and it's matching what it thinks are the best is the best candidate for this particular role. But actually what it will do is give you much more information than just telling you what it thinks. It's scoring these. Okay, so we've got looks like a Java developer role here, and yeah, Yeah, software engineer. Okay, so it is, I thought I put a test manager role in there, but it looks like the Java developer role is the one, and therefore it's coming up with the best result for a Java developer here. Now, when you click on here, it not only tells you the strengths of that particular candidate for this role, but it gives you a heat map here, and it shows you, why it's chosen this particular candidate. I might try this again with a completely new job spec, with the test manager job spec, and see if we get a different result. But there you go. It's overall score of 70, and it also gives you gaps as well. So it shows you where this person, if this was your hot list, then it shows you why there are particular gaps in this particular candidate, even though they found it to be it's found it to be the best candidate. These are gaps in the CV with regards this particular job, and of course, what this allows you to do is prep the candidate, because this is the sort of thing that the client will pull up as being missing from their skill set. Again, interview questions are in here as well. Now, I might maybe just run that again by maybe finding a I'm just going to reset this, and let's just find a test manager role and see if that works. So okay, so I'm just going to basically highlight everything here that's relevant, and in fact I'll take it from the top. So I'm assuming this is the sort of complex job that you're going to be getting, and not the neat type of format that you might necessarily see here. So I'm just going to take that and put it into our job matcher there. But this time what I'm going to do is introduce the same CVs again. So add CV one more and one more. So we've got 3 CVs there. Choose my file. In the first instance, let's put that Java developer there. Second instance, let's put a Angular developer there. And then the second instance, or the third one, we'll actually put the test manager. So hopefully that should be the one that it chooses. Then I'm going to run the match here. Is it homing in on the right person? Yes. So essentially here, it likes the Java developer, okay, Angular, fine, but really the big one is the test manager, and that's the one it should have come back with. Let's just click on the details. Fantastic tooling, fantastic domain knowledge, fantastic experience and skills. So it's got all the strengths there, all the gaps there, interview questions for you as well. And so again, this is what you would try and highlight to the candidate in terms of being aware if you're approaching a client. So incredibly powerful tool. Now, I would assume really just as useful is the job advert creator, which we've just added to this. So we are just going to keep honing this and making this more and more useful for you. Let's take the same job that I've just taken, put it in here, and see if we can generate a job ad from this. Now this has been trained to create a job description as a ready to post job ad for most job boards. But again, you should be trained in this to kind of make sure you understand the subtleties and nuances for your own company. But we've given you a head start here so that it saves a lot of time. I would suggest, put these in exactly as as the LLM has created, but you can copy this and put it in a Word document, and it will give you a head start in terms of how to create the job ad here. So very useful. Once again, there you go. There is the Holistica Toolkit. And once again, just to remind you, when you go to knowledge base and you in that area there, you'll be able to find the link to the toolkit. Now, as I said, evolving all the time, and we are always open to any suggestions you have as well in terms of what you think you might like in this sort of feature. And if at all doable, we will come right back to you. So I hope you found that useful, team, and I hope you use this on an ongoing basis. Enjoy.